Hey guys, you'll have to excuse how I sound, I've got a little bit of a cold at the moment, but today I'm going to be doing my second update of my Pan That Palette challenge, which if you weren't aware, I am trying to pan certain shades in the Urban Decay Sustainable Palette this year. So if you wanted to see my intro video and my first update, I will leave those linked below so you can check them out, and I will also link my panning playlist if you want to check out any other panning videos that I've done in the past. So we are 6.5 months into this challenge, and at my last update, which was about a couple of months ago, I hadn't made as much progress as I was hoping to, and at that point I was kind of getting a bit discouraged. I was thinking, you know, we're sort of a quarter of the way through this project now and I haven't even hit pan on anything. I was getting kind of down on myself, thinking this is going to be another failed project and it's just kind of a waste of time and I'm gonna feel really bad about myself for not completing it another one. But then I went on to watch a load of Amber F's videos, which I'll leave her channel link below. If you haven't checked her out and you're into panning videos, then definitely check out her channel. She's actually who created the Pan That Palette challenge. Highly recommend her. Basically, I pretty much binge watched her channel and she has given me so much motivation to keep using this palette day in, day out, and giving me kind of inspiration and ideas for how to use up more of these shades, get a bit more use out of them, kind of using them in different ways, and kind of adding in other eyeshadows from my collection so I can kind of switch up my looks a bit and get a bit more variety, but still continue using this palette every single day, which is what I have done. And I have made so much more progress. I can't wait to show you guys. So at my last update, my goals for the next couple of months were to hit pan on YDK and to get a bit more use out of Flipside and Flash. I wasn't thinking that I would be able to hit pan on either of those two shades. I just kind of wanted to get a bit more of a dip going on. So this is where I was at the very start of this challenge. And this is where I was at my last update. And this is where I am now. So as you can see, I have hit pan on YDK, Flipside, Twice Baked and Oil Slick. And I've also got a bit more of a dip going on in Half Baked, and I've got a dip going on in Kiddie Pool. So lots of progress has been made, and I majorly contribute that to watching Amber F's videos. Highly, highly recommend her. Like I said, check her out. Her link will be down below. So how I achieved this progress. As I'd said before in my last update, I was kind of switching between YDK and Half Baked as my lid colours. So I was kind of doing that, and then once I hit pan on YDK, I kind of put a pause on that one because that is my favourite shade from the palette, and I know I can kind of use it up more in the autumn months. So I paused that and switched to using Half Baked and then layering that with Flash for a bit. And then I was using Oil Slick to set my eyeliner, and that's how I hit pan on that. That's all I've used Oil Slick for. And kind of once I'd hit pan on that and widened it a little bit, I stopped using that because it was kind of flaking all down my face and causing black streaks on my cheeks. So I stopped using that one and switched to using Twice Baked as my like eyeshadow to set my eyeliner. So that's kind of how I've used Twice Baked, but I have used that in other ways, which I'll go into a bit more detail in a moment. So I was using Half Baked and Flash, and then the weather started getting nicer and I wanted to get some use out of Flipside and Kiddie Pool, kind of whilst the weather was nicer, and I can kind of get away with wearing more colourful eyeshadows a little bit more. So what I switched to doing was using Maybelline's Pink Gold Colour Tattoo on my lid as a base, and then I went over that with NYX's eyeshadow in taupe, just kind of all over the lid, up into the crease a little bit, and then I used Twice Baked just to deepen up the outer corner and to line kind of the lower the outer half of my lower lash line. Then I used Urban Decay's eyeliner in Junkie, kind of thickly on my top lash line, and then I set that with Flipside, and then I did kind of like a thin line of black eyeliner and went over that with Twice Baked, just so I've kind of done that today as well, so you kind of have the darker eyeliner right close to the lashes, and then you have the brighter colour popping out over the top. So I did that, hit pan on Flipside, and then I switched to using Kiddie Pool because this was basically a brand new eyeshadow. I'd barely touched it at all up until this point. And I thought this was going to be really densely packed and was going to be really difficult to use up and take ages, so I kind of wanted to start getting some use out of it whilst I could. And I have made such a dent in this already. I am so pleased. I've only been using this for maybe the past 2, maybe 3 weeks, and I've already got such a big dip going on in that, so I'm fairly confident that I will be able to hit pan on this before the summer is out easily. That's the look that I'm doing at the moment, the Maybelline colour tattoo on the lid, NYX taupe over that, just kind of like a neutral base, and then a little bit of Twice Baked just to darken up the outer corner, and then doing the kiddie pool over the top of the Urban Decay Junkie eyeliner, just for that little pop of colour, and that way it's not too intense. I'm not kind of doing blue eyeliner or blue eyeshadow all over my eye. It's kind of sticking in that neutral territory with just that little pop of colour, which is pretty for the summer, kind of helps bring out my eyes a little bit as well. And then I've been using a black eyeliner really close to my lashes and setting that with Twice Baked. I've also been using Twice Baked to fill in my eyebrows, which I wasn't sure whether or not that was going to work, but I got that idea from Amber and I quite like how it is. I kind of have to really tap off the eyeshadow to get rid of the glitter flecks in it, but it doesn't look glittery on my eyebrows at all, and it's not too dark or too warm toned in my opinion. You might think differently, but I think it's fine, and since I'm getting a bit more use out of this, I'm happy with that. So my goal for the next couple of months is to hit pan on Kiddie Pool, which I'm fairly confident I will be able to do in the next month or so. And then once I've hit pan on that, I want to go back to using some more of YDK because that is my favourite colour and it does look pretty. It's kind of like a bronzy summery look. So I will use YDK on the lid and kind of mix in other eyeshadows to create different looks. And then I will switch that out with Flipside, or maybe I'll mix them and kind of do this similar look that I've got on today, but just going back to using Flipside to set the Junkie eyeliner, because Flipside is probably my second favourite colour in this palette. It's so gorgeous, I absolutely love it. So I do want to get more use out of that one. So hopefully I will hit pan on Kiddie Pool and maybe even use up, maybe not quite half, but maybe a third of YDK I might be able to get through. And then we'll kind of see where we're at. I'm going to keep using Twice Baked to set my eyeliner and to fill in my brows and just kind of see how far I can get with this one. I won't be too disappointed if I don't finish it up completely because that was never my kind of goal or intention at the start of this year, but I am interested to see how much of this I can use up in the next few months. So they are my goals. Now, along with making progress in this, I've actually hit pan in a couple of other eye products. They're both products that I've already mentioned in this video and they are kind of what makes up my current everyday look. So the first thing that I hit pan on was the Maybelline Colour Tattoo in Pink Gold. I was really shocked when I hit pan on this because I didn't think I would ever hit pan on any of these kind of cream eyeshadow bases, but I'm so pleased that I have. It makes me so happy seeing that little bit of pan, knowing that I'm getting my use out of this. I thought this would dry up before I would get to really use it, but I've been using this every single day and it's been working like a charm, and I'm so pleased I've hit pan on that. So I'm hit pan on that. And then just today when I was doing my eyeshadow, I managed to hit pan on NYX's taupe eyeshadow as well. So really pleased with that. And I'm really pleased with myself that I've continued going with this, continued using this palette every single day, and have even managed to not only hit pan on the shadows in my palette that I wanted to, but also hit pan on some other products as well. It makes me so happy that I'm getting use out of my products, that I'm using them up, getting my money's worth. It's such a great feeling, and I'm so thankful to Amber for starting this challenge. And yeah, it's such a great feeling. So I encourage you guys, if you're interested in panning, try out a Pan That palette. You don't have to do a massive palette like everybody else might be doing. You can do a smaller palette, you can do kind of a few different smaller palettes if you want to, or even just pick one eyeshadow and decide I'm going to use that as my base eyeshadow for every day, and you just use it every single day. You can layer other shadows on top of it if you get sick of that colour, you know, as long as you're using it almost every single day, you will see progress, and it's such a great feeling. So I hope you guys have liked this video. Make sure you subscribe to stay up to date with all of my latest videos and see future panning videos. I have a project pan that I'm going to be doing in the next few months as well, which should be my next video, so make sure you're subscribed to see when that video goes up. Check out all of my links below. I sometimes will post kind of sneak peek pictures of how I'm getting on, like my progress in my palette, over on Instagram, so make sure you're following me over there if you want to see kind of sneak peeks in between these videos. Check out all my other links and give this video a thumbs up if you like it so that I know to keep doing them. I probably will keep doing them because I absolutely love them. But yeah, I hope you guys are having a fantastic day and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys! Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing my June TBR pile. If you don't know what TBR is, basically it stands for to be read, and you just share what books you're planning on reading in the upcoming month.